Let's begin with the fifth chapter from your economics book of grade 10, and the name of the chapter is Enterprise. Let us first understand what is the meaning of the term. An entrepreneur is a person who carries the risk of business and coordinates the activities of all the other factors of production. All the other factors of production means there are four factors of production, that is land, labor, capital, and then we are having the entrepreneurship. So here they are trying to say us that the entrepreneur is a person who is the risk bearer of the entire business. The profit and the loss is ultimately beared by that person, and it is taking care or coordinating all the other factors of production like land, labor, capital is being coordinated by this entrepreneur. So what is the difference between entrepreneurship and other factors of production? All other factors of productions are employed by the entrepreneur in the production process. Factors like labor, land, and capital are engaged by the entrepreneur on the basis of contractual income. Contractual income means they are going to get the payment. Okay, whatever is the end of the day, it is a profit, it's a loss, it's not their headache. Land, labor, capital. Okay, wage, rate, and interest is going to be paid by the entrepreneur. So that is a contractual income. The income of the entrepreneur is residual in nature. Residual means that means they are going to have, if there is a permanent, if at the end of the business, at the end of the year, if the entrepreneur finds it's a profit, it is belonging to him. If it is loss, that is also being beared by him. That is called a residual income. So that is a residual in nature. The entrepreneur gains profit or some income only after making payments on these factors. Contractual income of all the other factors of production can never be zero or negative. They are always positive, but the residual income of the entrepreneur may either be positive or zero or even negative. All the risks and uncertainties associated with a business activity are borne by the entrepreneur. Other factors of production do not share this risk and uncertainties with the entrepreneur. Function of an entrepreneur: planning of business activity. So before starting the business activity, they have to make full-fledged plan, right? So where this factory is going to get set up, from where the raw materials are going to come, what is the kind of production they are going to do, what kind of technologies they are going to use, everything is getting planned by the entrepreneur. Organizing business activity: an entrepreneur takes the responsibility of employing these factors into an appropriate proportion and managing proper coordination among them. These activities are known as organizational activities. Okay, decision making. So what type of production is going to be done, technology, what kind of technology is going to get applied, what is the what is going to be the price of the product that is going fixed by the entrepreneur, and many whatever the business is growing, how much they want to grow, and what is if they want to set up some other business, change the techniques, everything is getting decided. Decision making is done by the entrepreneur. Selling and marketing activities. So we have to tell the decision about how the marketing process is going to take place, what is going to be the brand name, packaging, advertisement, selling services, okay, wholesale outlets, whatever is going to be done, that is also decided by the entrepreneur. Coordination and overall supervising: after the interaction or initiation, or after the production is over, the production process activities in any business firm, the entrepreneur undertakes the job of overall supervising of the working of different departments. Okay, budgeting or financial planning: in a proper cost planning is checked or chalked out by the entrepreneur, or to minimize the average cost of production. So all the things we came across can be said as Ports Corp. Often this comes in exam. What is the full form of Ports Corp? That is P for planning, O for organizing, D for decision making, or we can say directing also. S stands for selling, COR is coordination, and B is budgeting. So other three factors are also there, like risk taking and uncertainty. So there are two types of risk taking. Okay, one is the insurance risk and the other is non-insurable risk. So whichever is the insurable risk, there if the entrepreneur is making some insure, like company is making the insure, if there is certain and breakout of fire, then they will get the fire from the fire insurance, they can get back some amount of money. So there, if they are making some insurance, through this insurance there are some other kinds of, they can get some money in return, but there are some other kinds of risk which cannot be avoided through insurance. They are called non-insurable risks, like the taste and preferences of the customers. If that get changed, so company cannot do anything. No insurance can be provided for that. And if government policy changes, no insurance is there also regarding the government policies. Hence the entrepreneur has to face this non-insurable risk and uncertain future. So innovative activities, when the entrepreneurs adopt new innovations in the production process, this is called innovation. So if the entrepreneur is having the innovative ideas, he is going to have more profit, and consumers, according to the consumer's choice, if he is going to do the production, then he is going to have more consumers. Now lastly, they are saying delegation of function. So delegation means giving away the responsibility. So we should mention here that nowadays entrepreneurs often delegate the managerial function to hired managers, keeping only the risk taking factor with themselves. That means they are appointing the manager and they are just giving away their managerial work, like the organizing work. Okay, they are just giving away it, like from whether raw materials are coming, other raw materials in the stock or not, whether the laborers are working properly or not. The coordination part they are doing, but the risk taking factor, okay, the risk bearing factor is still lying with the entrepreneurs. Hence the entrepreneur is regarded as the captain of an industry. So what are the qualities of an entrepreneur? First is organizable ability to organize everything. That ability have to be there. Attitude of risk taking. Prudent decision making. This means whenever the decision is being taken by the entrepreneur, he have to be very prudent, thoughtful about the future. He have to be reasonable, okay, so that in future it becomes a very fruitful kind of decision. Okay, innovative ability means here they are trying to say that new kind of ideas or innovations should be initiated by the entrepreneur. Okay, negotiation skill. If the entrepreneur is having a better negotiation skill, then from various problems or various issues can be negotiated and sorted out. Like for example, if there is any problem with the trade unions or the local administration or the government, okay, then this all can get solved very easily. What is the difference between an entrepreneur and an organizer? Organizer, in among, we have to say that the function of the organizer's work is to organize the business by coordinating the activities of other factors of production, but they are other functions as well. Okay, like in the business we are having the risk, uncertainty, carrying the innovations, experience, and extremely important function of the entrepreneur. The risk bearing factor, the innovative ideas, the decision making is ultimately done by the entrepreneur, but the organizer or the organizer's work is just to organize or to coordinate, only that much. Okay, role of the entrepreneur in economic development. The economic development of any country depends not only on the growth of the national output but also on the qualitative improvement of the standard of life of common people. New innovations and industries. Innovation also means the creation of new products which in accordance to with the change preference pattern of consumers, both the domestic and foreign markets. These innovations are a prerequisite for the industrial development in a country. Like for example, we can take the innovative idea of Dhirubhai Ambani. He has revolutionized the telecommunication industry of India. Number 2, infusing dynamism in the production system. This means the entrepreneurs can make the production system most dynamic through their creative ideas. The creativity is the ability to devise a successful implement some new ideas, as it is a continuous process. When there is lack of such creativity, the production systems become static. This static production system cannot fulfill the growing needs in a developing economy. Recycling the profits of productive investment. New innovations undertaken by the entrepreneurs may be cost reducing or demand creating. If the average cost of the production can be reduced through new innovations in the production process, entrepreneurs can earn higher amount of profit. Next, they are saying that generating competitive strength in an industry and higher export income. Okay, here they are trying to explain us that the ability to make appropriate decision and undertaking new innovations by the entrepreneur also help in generating a competitive strength in the industry. Okay, the entrepreneurs undertake continuous research and development works to improve the qualities of production and sell them at the competitive price in the foreign market. As a result, those industries can easily compete with their rivals in the world market. This leads to increase in the export income of a country. Next is effective use of available resources. As it has also been observed that active and enthusiastic entrepreneurs can fully exploit the potentialities of the available resource in the country. Okay, government entrepreneurship and fulfillment of social need. When any business organization starts under the active initiative and participation of the government, we observe the presence of government entrepreneurship in the country. Next, government entrepreneurship and the infrastructural facilities is the the economic development of a country, particularly of a developing country, depends to a large extent on the infrastructural facilities such as transport and communication network, generating and distributing electricity, etc. The government entrepreneurship plays a vital role in creating a strong infrastructure based in any such developing country. So from the entire discussion, and it becomes clear that there remains a positive correlation between entrepreneurship and economic development in any country.